Hey there, Aries. Welcome to part 2 for the week of April 4th. This week, if you haven't watched part 1, this is part 1 right here. There's a link in the description down below. But we're just going to jump right in here. With the Aquarius card, you have the Libra card. It just says balance on it. I do feel like, again, some of you could be dealing with an air sign. I'm pretty sure you've had an air sign coming up in your readings for quite a while now. And some of you, looks like you're separating away from this person. Others, I would say if you're in a situation and it is positive, this to me is just saying that the person is basically present in your reading, meaning their energy is with you. This could be a good thing. It could say things are going well. I kind of get, again, take it how it resonates, I feel is what I would say here. With the Fool, you have the Five of Cups. Again, I said this in your first reading, and I feel like the only thing that could be holding you back at this time is past disappointments. He is crying over spilt wine. The story of the Five of Cups is that he is crying over spilt wine. He has lost his taste for something that he once enjoyed. He really enjoys wine, and he has lost his taste for it, right? So it can just represent someone who has lost their taste for wine, basically. And so for some of you, I feel like the Five of Cups is like saying that there's something new entering into your life. The Two Cups behind you, and I don't know, maybe it's like tequila or something else that tastes better than wine, right? Wine gives me a headache, but there's a bridge and a castle right here. So you want to turn around and you want to see what's in those two cups. I feel like you need to be grateful for what you do have. And I also feel that some of you have a skill that isn't being used. I don't know. I get this message for you every single time that I do your readings here, Aries. Maybe you just don't feel like the skill is valuable, but I feel like some of you have a skill that's extremely valuable and you're not using it. So, I don't know. I would say, if do people tell you you're good at something and you're like, you just brush it off? I would look at those things because it could be a job, it could turn into a business, it could turn into just something fun, right? With the Tower, you have the Ace of Wands. In a lot of ways, I feel like you're feeling much better after a Tower moment. Sometimes I feel like this is true. It's like sometimes, during a breakup, like I've had breakups in the past, I'll just bare my soul to you because I'm not afraid to embarrass myself, in front of 600,000 people. Who cares, right? What I would say here is that it's like I've had breakups in the past where it's like I kind of was like sad at first, but then I was like, wait a minute, that is such a relief that I don't have to deal with this person any longer, right? So it's like in a lot of ways, I kind of get that. It's like, this is reminding me of like a phoenix rising type of energy. It's like the Tower is the ashes. That Ace of Wands is the new beginning. It is something much more inspiring. There's like a lot of hope that goes along with the Ace of Wands because, it's just kind of like that fresh, clean energy. And I definitely get that coming in for you. I feel like it's something that you're about to have. With the High Priestess, you have the Two of Swords. Everything in your reading is saying turn around. I always get this feeling, and I feel like this is true for everyone right now, is that there's like a lot of opportunity in places where you don't think there's opportunity. I'll just tell you, like this YouTube channel, when I started this YouTube channel like 7 years ago now, crazy, can't believe it. It's like I was working on other businesses that I wanted to be more successful, right? It's like my focus, I enjoyed doing the YouTube thing, but it wasn't like my focus at the time. It wasn't something like that I saw going anywhere. It wasn't something that I really thought I would be doing for years and years and years, right? But now it's turned into something that I love doing and something that I, plan to do forever, for as long as I can, for as long as my mouth will keep flapping, right? And what I would say here is it's like I never saw the potential in the YouTube. Even when I started, there were no readers that had more than 10,000 subs. No readers, no astrologers, no nothing. It was basically nothing, right? And so, I never saw the potential. I feel like there's something like that for you in your life where it's like you don't even realize how much potential is in something that is coming in for you. To me, it makes sense. We have Uranus and Taurus. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Uranus and Taurus is like new technology, new ideas. It's like you never know how someone could create like a website where you can promote your skills and it could be very good for you. It reminds me of like I think by the end of Uranus and Taurus, we're going to see like more things like Uber, come up where it's like you can make money with something you own. But it's going to be different. Again, what does it look like? I have no clue. But, I feel like it's like you don't realize how valuable a skill could be. With the Chameleon spirit, you have the Brown Bear spirit that says take time out. I really do feel like it's a time for you to be selfish at this time and to take care of yourself. I feel like this is true for everyone. And, I don't mean selfish as in you don't care about other people or anything going on in the world or anything like that. I said this to Sagittarius and someone was like, there's a war going on and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't know, fly over to the Ukraine and take care of it yourself then, right? It's like you on your own. It's like you're not going to fight the war on your own, right? There's nothing that you can do on your own. I mean, are there things you can do? Sure, you can bring awareness, you can do all that stuff. Great, right? But for the most part, it's like, should we be worrying about those things? Should we be crapping our pants like that person was, crying, yelling, screaming in my comments? No, because I banned that person. Now they're invisible. So it's like, doesn't do anything, right? And what I would say here is I feel like there are a lot of things that are taking up a lot of brain space right now for you, Aries. I'm not saying you don't care about those things, but what I'm saying is, it's like if something is taking up a lot of brain space and it's preventing you from being successful, then, that's not necessarily a good thing. You're not actually solving any problems. And so that's what I would say here. This is one of the major problems. If you can't tell, I'm very passionate about it. One of my major problems that I have with the spiritual community in general is like, I would say not everybody believes this. And I would say more people believe what I believe, which is that we shouldn't be self-sacrificing. We shouldn't be sacrificing our own lives. That doesn't help anyone. That doesn't help anything, right? And worrying about something definitely doesn't help either. So what I would say here is take some time for yourself. I'm not saying you're worried about the war or anything like that, but what I am saying is I feel like you could be worrying about like a person in your life or people. For some of you, I feel like this has to do with family, with the the 10 of cups here. What I would say to you is that, and I'm cheating because I see this in your astrology for you, Aries, and I've definitely talked about this before. I feel like there could be opportunities for you to, move away from family, for you to travel or, do other things that you desire to do, but maybe you feel like you're leaving, people behind. That's always the feeling I get for you here. I kind of feel like you have to live your own life, and of course you will always see those people again. It's not like you're not caring about those people. I feel like someone needs to hear that out there. With the Two of Wands, you have the Fool. The Fool says it's time to take a leap of faith. So you have the Fool twice. You have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands has been coming up for everyone. The energy that I feel off the Two of Wands is like know-it-all energy. And I'm not calling you a know-it-all. But the Two of Wands, he is looking out into the world in front of him. He's got the whole world in his hands. But he's looking out in front of him. And he thinks that he knows exactly how a situation is going to go. Could be love, could be business, could be anything. He thinks he's like assuming how things are going to go. He's not looking at that world. He's not saying there are a billion ways that this situation can go. He thinks he knows everything. So I'd be careful of that. As I've been saying to everyone at this time, to me, for whatever reason, the Two of Wands is saying to me, for you, that you need to allow yourself to be surprised. And again, I feel like that's true for the collective right now, is that we shouldn't be like getting into a relationship and assuming it's going to end in a certain way. It's like, yes, maybe you have a history where every single relationship has ended a certain way, but that doesn't mean this one is. There are many possibilities. I think if we just open up to the possibilities, it's going to make things a lot better. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is like a knight in shining armor. I do feel that there could be new love coming in for you. I would be careful. Like if you have something that you feel like, again, is taking up brain space, like maybe you have an ex or a person that you're dealing with, and I just feel like this kind of like, sucking energy on my frontal lobe right here, Aries. So I don't know, maybe this person controls your emotions. Maybe you have a person who kind of, their emotions affect your emotions. Again, I would be very, very careful of this. And again, I'm not saying you don't care about this person, if it's a person, or if it's a situation, but I'm just saying make sure it isn't like sacrificing your own life. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Strength card, Leo, right here. The Strength card is something that requires practice and requires strength. I feel like you are, like, I kind of feel this is more confidence for you. I really don't feel like typical strength energy. So I kind of really like this, actually. I feel like you're coming in a very strong, confident position, and I would maintain that energy. With the Fox and the Clouds, you have this Kite card. It says vacation. I keep getting travel in your readings. You definitely need a vacation. And again, maybe you can't afford to go on a vacation or whatever. Maybe you need a staycation. Maybe you just need, I think even in the most extreme circumstances, if you really feel like you have no time, it's like, can you create a space where you take 10 minutes a day to, to just zone out or to meditate or something, right? I would try to do those things. You have the Rabbit. It says too much concern with sexual matters. I don't really feel like that's true. But I do feel, it could be, but I do feel like something is kind of controlling you. Like I said, it says too much concern, and I just told the story about the Sagittarius with the war issue and like all that other stuff. And if they actually listened, I didn't say anything about the war in that video, by the way. They just assumed what I was saying, basically. Ugh, these people, right? But the thing is is that, again, if something is consuming you, I could tell by the fact that they were typing in all caps and, all this concern that was pouring out of them, and everything else. It's like that consumes their day every single day. And it's like, if, I'm not saying that we can't, I do feel individuals have a lot of power, but at the same time, it's like, can you change this right now? The answer is probably not. And like, unless you have, rocket launchers for arms, and unless you are invincible, the answer is probably not. You probably can't change it, right? But what can you change? What things can you change? I think that if we, live our best life, if we create more happiness in the world and all those things are things we can focus on, and it has a spillover effect where it's like goes to other people. If more people did it, it's like maybe we wouldn't have these issues in the first place. So, but for you, I feel like there's some sort of concern, maybe with a person that is kind of consuming you. It might not be true for all of you, but for those of you that it is true, I would just be careful. With the Queen of Cups, again, and that's the reason why, by the way, the Queen of Cups, she values her emotions. She protects her own emotions. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores, so I definitely feel like you are moving on to calmer shores. You're moving towards improvements, and by the way, they're leaving their whole entire life behind. Again, there is some sort of sacrifice energy that I always get for you, Aries, where it's like you could be, I don't think you're making a sacrifice, but it's like you're making a decision potentially to leave certain things in the past. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands. It's like, I kind of like the Ten of Wands. I know some readers don't like the Ten of Wands, and that's fine. But the Ten of Wands, he is collecting that harvest. That is a harvest. He has done a bunch of work, and now he's bringing all the work, his harvest, to his home, and he's about to kind of put his burdens down, but he's having a harvest. It's kind of like the end of a harvest, and I feel that for a lot of you, where it's like you've been experiencing a lot of burdens for a long time, and now you're getting to the end. And with the Eight of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles twice. Eight of Pentacles, again, can be a card of focus, and I do feel focus is very important for you. It's also like a card of diligence and like hard, like diligent work, focusing on one thing, right? And it keeps popping into my head for you, Aries. I don't know why, but what I would say is I feel for those of you, maybe you have an idea for like a project, maybe you're working on a certain project or a certain business. I feel like this is very good for you if you are kind of developing a focus, right? As far as work or business is concerned, I feel there could just be a lot of success for you. So thank you for being here, Aries. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.